Alright, so this is number 7, June 2019, more algebra, right? This was a question that a lot of the people saying, oh, this was add math, this was add math. It was an add math formula, but it is just evaluating that formula, seeing if you can follow instructions, and following instructions is a big thing in math. So 7a, the question reads, the nth term t sub n of a sequence is given by t sub n is equal to 3n squared minus 2. Show that the first term of the sequence is 1. So the first term means that n is 1. So let's just plug it in. T1, because instead of n I have to write 1, is equal to 3 by 1 squared, because instead of n I have to write 1 minus 2. You can either put that in your calculator or just do it in your head, because 1 squared is 1, 3 by 1 is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1. So our first term is 1. It is shown 1 mark. The second part of part A asks, what is the third term of the sequence? The third term means that n is 3, and we're doing this all over again, but we're now substituting 3. So T3 is equal to 3 times 3 squared minus 2. Notice that I'm always using the brackets because we want to make sure that we follow BODMAS or PEMDAS, whichever you were taught. So we want to do that parentheses and exponents first. Alright, so 3 squared is 9, 3 by 9 is 27, 27 minus 2 is 25. The third term of the sequence is 25. 1 mark for your final answer, and that's it. The third part, given that Tn is equal to 145, what is the value of n? So this is going the other way now. We know that Tn from on top is 3n squared minus 2. So again, follow instructions. If Tn is 145, then what can I do? I can substitute 3n squared minus 2 for Tn, and that is exactly what I do. So 3n squared minus 2 is equal to 145. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So I get 3n squared is 147. The opposite of the multiplication is division. So n squared is 147 divided by 3, which is 49. The opposite of squaring is a square root. The opposite of squaring is a square root. Opposite of squaring, the square root over here, the square root of 49 is 7. It is plus or minus 7, but here we just need the positive term because n was from 1, n was up. Right? This, I think, was 2 marks. 3 marks. 3 marks. So final line here, this substitution here, and anywhere around there, another mark. Right? Remember, this is my version of how it may be, how CSEC may divvy up the marks. I am absolutely not sure at what point they would do that there. That's how I would give the mark. Alright, so part 7b. Alright, so we were given another sequence with n terms, and this one was un. Oh, the n supposed to be in brackets. I have it as sub. Right, it's the same thing, and we're given the term as 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Right, that is the first term of that, first 8 terms of that sequence. It is given there, and they're saying u1 is 1, u2 is 1, and then they gave us a formula for un, right, which is the other two, right, adding to each other, and they gave us an example. All right, so they wanted us to write down the next 2 terms in the sequence u9. So we already had the 8th term was 21, but I had it up here to give me just making sure. So u7 was 13, u6 was 8, added it, u8 is 21. u9 therefore is u8 plus u7, giving me 34. u10 was u9 plus u8, giving me 55. 1 mark each for following the formula, right? Nice. Which term in the sequence is the sum of u18 and u19? If we look at it, it is always the last two. u9 was 8 and 7. u10 was 9 and 8. So if I have 18 and 19, then it is going to be U20, right? 1 mark for that. The last thing they wanted us to do in question 7 was to show that U20 minus U19 is actually equal to U19 minus U17. And what we want to do here is to show that these two sides, the left hand side and the right hand side, are equivalent. So we start off with what we are given. I have broken up the U20 into U19 plus U18. CSEC is always leading you to the answers, always leading you to the answers. So U20 is U19 plus 18. I've used it here. They've reminded you that I can rewrite this as this. So I've rewritten U20 as U19 and U18. They have minus U19 equals, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to rewrite U19 as U18 plus U17. And what happens? Magic happens. This U19 cancels out with this U19, because positive U19 minus U19 is cancelled out, is 0. And this is positive U17 minus U17 also cancels out, gives us 0. What we are left with was U18 on both sides. Since U18 on both sides and they're equal, then we have shown that U20 minus U19 is equal to U19 minus U17. This is 2 marks. So I will give a mark for each line, because some may get this line but not be able to break it down. They may not cancel out, or they may continue going down beyond. So once you have this line, I will give a mark, and if you have converted it to this line, I will give another mark. Oh God, I'm shaking up.